Hello everybody and welcome to End Time on a Protection Warrior. And I'm just going to be commentating on this game a little bit, telling you why I picked a Protection Warrior as a tank, why go Prot and not Fury and Arms, what are the strengths and weaknesses as a Protection Warrior, and just generally talking a little bit throughout this video. Alright, so as you can see, the beam of white light, once these black kitties come in and the shadowed other Night Elf figures come in, they actually have a buff before they enter the light that reduces their damage taken by 90%. So how you deal with that is you round everybody up, you make sure every target is on you, and you drag them in the white light. What the white light does is it removes the debuff, allowing you to kill them at a very, very fast pace depending on your group composition. So let me talk a little bit about why I picked it Prot on my warrior and I didn't go dual DPS or anything like that. I picked Prot just basically because I'm a tank at heart. I absolutely love tanking, and I love the mobility as a protection warrior. You can have double time, which gives you 2 charges. You throw an intervene in there, plus a heroic leap, and nitro boots if you have it. So it's just a very, very mobile class. I absolutely love it as a tank. If you compare this to, say, a Death Knight, doesn't have much to get him up at the heat of the battle very quickly. It can only put one target towards him at a time, every 30 seconds unless he has a glyph. And I just really enjoy the big numbers that Protection Warriors can pull in AoE situations. As you can see right here, my Thunderclap applies the old Rend, and what that does is just applies a bleed effect called Deep Wounds now. And I absolutely love it. It's so easy to hold AoE aggro. It's very, very strong single target aggro as well, at least from my experience playing my character. And I just absolutely love the rage aspect of a warrior. And what I mean by that is, unlike mana or rage or druid rage, warrior rage functions a little bit differently, especially now in 5.0.4. Some of your spells generate rage, others spend it, and you get rage every three. You get 1 rage every 3 seconds while in combat when you're in defensive stance. So I also have the glyph to bump my rage from 100 to 120, and what that will actually allow me to do is I can use a shield block or a shield barrier, which both cost 60 rage 2 times in a row. So in other words, if I have a rogue, a death knight, an arms warrior, a feral druid on me, and I'm in a corner and I have my back to the wall, what I can actually do with full rage is I can block every single attack they throw at me for 12 seconds consecutively, because my shield block is a 100% block chance for 6 seconds. It blocks all melee attacks coming into you, and it costs 60 rage. You have 2 charges with I think it's a 6 second recharge rate, something like that. And what that can do is, when I'm at max rage, I can cast 2 of them consecutively, blocking every single melee attack made against me for 12 seconds. So as a flag carry, if you're getting hit really hard, back up in Warsong Gulch into a corner, get full rage, use these abilities, you're going to stop taking a little bit of damage, not from magical though, this is just from melee. And, you know, your day will be a lot better once that happens. Another reason I picked a Protection Warrior to make this video particularly, other than I really felt like playing mine, I really enjoy the shout system, the commanding in the battle, the demoralizing, the intimidating. I really like that. You can really change the face of battle no matter what spec of warrior you are, just because of the shouts. An intimidating shout is no longer on a 2 or 3 minute cooldown, it is now on a 1 minute cooldown. So that is very powerful. We also have demoralizing shout, which reduces the physical damage enemies do to us by 20%. And we also have heroic throw. Combine that with heroic throw and heroic leap and shockwave. You leap in, thunderclap, shockwave. They're stunned, you're not taking any damage, they're taking a lot of damage. It's a really, really, really cool setup, and I absolutely love the talent tree for warriors. So, a little bit about this dungeon. On this boss fight, there's only one thing you really need to know as a tank. Stardust needs to be interrupted, and your cooldown will actually, your pummel cooldown will actually be just enough to interrupt every single one. I only missed it there because I think I popped Rallying Cry, just to help with the my teammates' health, and right there I get it again. And another thing you can do is, as you see right there, I just reflected Moonlands. So what I should have done, and I just realized it now, is I should have popped my mass spell reflect to get 2 Moonlances in a row back at the boss. And as you can see, my teammates are having a little bit of trouble. Range is pretty difficult on this fight, and there are 3 range: the healer, the hunter, and the warlock. So that does it for that fight. It's a very simple fight. Alright, so this mob right here, you're going to want to kill the time-twisted Geists first, because if you do not and the big guy goes down, what will happen is every remaining Geist will get increased damage and increased size, and that is a really bad day for the tank, healer, and any DPS that may pull aggro. So one thing you can do that I found out to be extremely helpful, if the big guy does go down first and you have quite a few Geist remaining, save your Shockwave. Because as they're cannibalizing, which is a spell that they gain size and damage, you can Shockwave them, interrupt that, and right after they'll start attacking you. So that cancels out the damage increased effect that they will gain from cannibalize, especially if as soon as that big guy goes down you notice it and you do a Shockwave, they won't even do that, from my experience, unless they've changed that. And I absolutely love Protection PvP. I have a lot on my channel. If you guys would like to check it out, I'd be very much appreciative. And thank you guys very much. I want to, I try and take the opportunity at least once in every video I have to thank all my subscribers, all my commenters, all my viewers, all the people that have liked my video. Thank you guys very, very much. That really, really, truly does mean a lot to me that you take the time to do that. I am very thankful and I am very, very grateful. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so right here, as you can see, I'm waiting for a ready check top left right next to my party frame. I have that little menu opened up, and 2 reasons I have that menu open: ready checks before bosses or big pulls depending on the dungeon and depending on your group composition and your group personalities. Like if my healer wants to know before I do a big pull, I'll do a ready check. And marking. As you can see, I put a skull above my head, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second here. I'll show you. But as far as this fight goes, as a tank, you're going to need to watch out for 2 things. One is, I believe it's called Touch of Chaos. It's a magic debuff. If you have that, you may want to use a few defensive cooldowns just to reduce the damage you take, and Unholy Shot. Those are the 2 really powerful spells this boss does, and you really need to watch out for them because they can hit really, really hard. Alright, so this is why I have the skull over my head. I also pop my Recklessness to do as much damage as we can to this guy, getting him down very, very quickly. So why I have the skull, to elaborate, is during this phase, the entire party needs to focus down 1 Risen Ghoul, or else when that happens, massive damage will be done and you will basically be one-shotted. But all you need to do to avoid that is kill 1 Ghoul as a team, go behind the Ghoul. Once the Ghoul is dead, there will be a clearing and the purple puddle DPS stuff will not be there. And once you're through there, you're golden. You just got to stay out of the purple stuff. And one thing I like to do is I always like moving, because once that phase ends, the boss will basically throw another acid pool at someone random, and if it's at you, as you're moving, it cannot possibly hit you because you're moving at... I always try and move to the left or right. I never go backward and forward because that just wouldn't make sense, because it would still hit you. So as you're moving left or as you're moving right, the pool will always be where you were just a second ago. So that's why it's a really good idea to keep moving, and I'm going to show you what I mean here. So you go right through, and as you can see, I'm still moving, and right here, as soon as that ends, I'm pretty sure it wasn't going to be on me, and I was absolutely right, it's on that Warlock, and because that Warlock did not move and it stood still, it dropped extremely quickly. So I don't think really at least all my party members know what they're doing in this dungeon. I think it's the first time for everybody. At least a few of them. And one of the things you really need more so than gear or even a class to tank on when you are tanking, is patience. Because we all have to remember, I do die in the last fight, and maybe some of you are thinking, really, how did you die? Well, you gotta remember, guys, this is a game with millions and millions of players, and not everybody has done this stuff, not everybody has 85s, not everybody has max levels, not everybody PvEs seriously or cares to see what the fights are about. So I think the one quality you need more than anything as a tank would 100% be patience. Because without patience, you're going to get extremely frustrated with your class, and extremely, you may not even want to play your tank anymore just because it can be very frustrating. So if you guys are joining us just to see what tanking is all about, I just want to say thank you for clicking on my video. I'm very appreciative, and the one thing I can say about tanking is you need patience. So right here, I did ask for a sap on the infinite suppressor. I did not get it for some reason. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our spell reflect to hit one back of the infinite suppressor, and we're going to shockwave these guys just to stop any damage that I can from coming into me, just because it is such a powerful mob. It is such a high damage mob, and especially as a tank, you really want to help out your healer. Mine doesn't seem that much geared, so I really do want to try my best to help him out, and I try to do so using my reflex, using my shockwaves to stun big groups, and using my silences. And as you can see right here, before patch 5.0.4 I had concussive blow. I would have used that right here just to shut this guy down completely. Alright, so for people who don't know what the sequence of marking is, skull is primary target, X is secondary target, square is frost trap, moon is polymorph, triangle is usually repentance, diamond is usually third target in my experience, or repentance, circle is usually trap or fourth target, and star is 100% of the time in my experience, star has always been sap. So I'm sure a lot of players out there have their different styles, and I'm kind of interested to see what kind of marks you guys would use for what fights and everything. Like I know maybe you guys use skull for main CC or something. Leave it in the comments below if you don't mind. That'd be really interesting. Just a little tidbit to get to know my my viewers a little bit better. Alright, so right here again, I'm just gonna eat that damage just because it is one of them, and my pummel was on cooldown along with my shockwave and my heroic throw, and I do have the gag order glyph, so my heroic throw does silence them. Alright guys, for this fight I do want to point something out before we even start. As you're running in and he casts Snapshot, what I always do is I blow any and every cooldown I have. And people might be saying, oh well, that's kind of silly, why not just wait when you need it? Well, I'm going to show you why I do that in just a second here. So before, you always want to face this boss away from the group, which is why I'm mounted. I'm going to pull him slightly, I'm going to face him to the left of where he originally is right now. So as you can see, I'm just to his left. So temporal snapshot. Now I just blew my last stand and I blew my shield wall. Now when my teammates hit the hour of time, the hourglass, if you look up at my buffs, my last stand and my shield wall will be off of cooldown. I can use them again, but I will still have that shield wall and that last stand buff up there. So as I said earlier, unfortunately I do go down here. They were not hitting the hourglass when they should have been. I tried to help that out and I did die. But as a 5-man group, one guy cannot do everything. I try, trust me, I try, but unfortunately it's just not how this game functions. So as you can see, I'm trying to go right here, and they use it. Okay, my last stand and shield wall are off cooldown, and I have 5 seconds left on my shield wall, and 11 seconds left on my last stand. And this is why I do what I do before, and I pop them right before, because I wait until they drop off, then I use them when I need them. And as you can see, when I use my shield block, I am blocking, I am parrying his attacks. So it's a very good Very, very good, powerful spell. Very powerful class. And I cannot wait to see how a 90 protection warrior is going to play and the amount of health those bad boys are going to have. One thing I would really appreciate your guys' opinion on is I've been getting a lot of requests that my main tunes are not spec'd for, such as a Resto Druid and such as a Holy Pally. And I do have a PvP geared level 76 Resto Druid and a 76 PvP geared Holy Pally. And those brackets are extremely... See, I go down there just because I was trying to help. They did not click it in time. But that's okay, that's the first and only death. So, as I was saying, those brackets that the two requests I keep getting are extremely intense. They're very fun, and I would just, for the people that have requested Holy Pally, I know Sora Zip is one. Would you mind if I did it on my Off-Realm Paladin in a very intense battleground bracket? So if you don't mind mentioning that, if you don't mind answering that, I would be very, very appreciative, just so I know, and I can be bringing a lot more Holy Pally and a lot more Resto Druid videos, that's for sure. And in the meantime, I will try to gear my main Paladin up. Pandaria is being released in 5 days, guys. 5 days. That's awesome. Pet battles, professions, leveling, new areas, new pets for hunters, new gear, higher level gear, new dungeons, new raids, new battleground in 90. You can bet your bottom dollar my channel is going to be swarmed with videos a few days after that. I love making videos, especially content no one's ever seen before. And I'm going to start recording. I don't know why I haven't recorded this. I kind of do crazy things, like I try and solo high level raids, get transmog gear. When I'm doing my gold runs, I hit certain instances up. So I'm going to start making videos like that, and I actually will make neat little playlists for fire mages, frost mages. So if you guys want one certain class, you can just click there and just see all the videos of that certain class I have. And I really want to thank you guys again. You guys have really helped me. And I plan to get picked up by a company extremely soon. I will be working for a gaming company, making videos. I'm going to hopefully be a extremely successful game director. And I have all of that, and I really do feel I'm going to do that. I have all of that to owe to you guys. And I'm not one of these guys that'll just get there and forget who helped them. I will be mentioning, everyone who helped me get there in every video I create. And it's just, I am extremely grateful for that, guys. Thank you very, very much. So this is the end of the dungeon. One death was not so bad. And really funny because of Battleground proc. It's like, okay, Wraithen, your time to annihilate Horde. Alright, so that's the dungeon. If you guys enjoyed it, found it entertaining, or it helped you in any way, if you're just had fun watching it, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. It would greatly help me. Thank you guys very much, and as always, happy hunting.